Hey y'all, my name is Dory and I'm the Black Medical Anthropologist. In lieu of a recent loss, I wanted to shine light on physician suicide and offer tools and techniques to help grieve through such a difficult loss. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. 1 in 10 physicians will have a substance abuse problem in the course of their life. About 30% of practicing physicians reported depression, which is twice that of the national average of US adults. A 2019 study found that 300 physicians die by suicide every year. It is the second most common cause of death of residents overall. Mourning of suicide is a very unique mourning process. There's a lot of confusion and questions and guilt surrounding why the person did what they did. Unfortunately, this is not my first time grieving someone who died by suicide. And so I wanted to offer perspective as to ways that I got through it and ways that I'm coping through this current grieving process. Mourn with people that knew the person. When you mourn with people who knew the person, it allows you to exchange information about their mental state. It helps remedy confusion. It can help you reminisce about the great times with that person. And I think that it can help prevent you feeling isolating, as unfortunately suicide is still such a taboo topic to discuss. And sometimes people around you may want to help you feel better and may want to help you cope through it, but because they don't know the person and because they're not mourning themselves, it's a lot more difficult for them to feel connected to you. When I lost someone to suicide the first time, having someone who knew the person was integral to my growth and my mourning through the loss. Engage in activity that reminds you of that person. Someone that I lost really loved to sing terribly in the shower, and as much as it annoyed me when they were alive, it's something that I do much more frequently just to feel more connected to that person. Physically, they're lost, but spiritually, they're not. And by engaging in activities that remind you of them, you can keep their spirit alive. Let whatever emotions come to you come with no judgment. I cry excessively. When I got the news, I was in the airport and I did not care. I still let myself feel the emotions that I needed to feel, because at the end of the day, if you hold them in, they're more than likely going to manifest in other ways or come up when you least expect it at a much greater magnitude. If you're having feelings of guilt, that is perfectly normal. Let yourself feel those things. Validate yourself that likely, even if you were in more contact or if you had seen the signs, that doesn't necessarily mean that you could have stopped that person from harming themselves. Let yourself be confused. Let that drive you to find more answers. Let yourself feel angry, especially in the case of physician suicide, where a lot of the factors are revolved around our career path. Let yourself feel angry. Let that anger drive you to action. And even if it doesn't drive you to action, it's perfectly okay. It's a normal reaction to such a terrible incident. Get out in nature. Nature helps me feel connected to spirit. And I truly believe that we are all connected. And by being in nature, I feel more connected to those that I lost. Being in nature helps slow my thoughts, which helps me through my grieving process. Eat delicious, well-rounded foods. When I'm going through a hard time, I tend to not have an appetite and I don't have the motivation to eat. But what motivates me to eat is making sure that I have things that I could look forward to eating. I'm very much so a foodie, and so having no appetite doesn't feel like myself. I allow myself a little bit more leniency in eating out and just indulging in things that I enjoy. I try to make sure that I have every nutrition group on my plate and I'm eating so that I'm still a functioning adult. Unfortunately, our society is not built for grief. Yes, we can take time off, but at the end of the day, we have to go back and continue on with life. You have a much harder time doing that when you don't eat, and it affects your energy levels and it affects your hormones in general. So make sure that you're eating. Pray. I speak a lot about spirituality and religion on this channel. Prayer helps me feel more connected to that person. I will pray to God. I will ask him why. I'll ask him to get me through this hard time. I will pray to the person that I lost and hope that they are feeling better and that they're in a better place now. When you're going through such a tough time and a lot of things don't make sense, there is some relief in relying on a higher power to take that pain away from you and to take on that burden. And lastly, recognize that two things can be true at once. Recognize that even if you had been in contact with that person, that doesn't mean that they wouldn't do what they did. Recognize that people can be in psychiatric care and in therapy and can still be in crisis. Recognize that they were trying their best and this was still the outcome. Oftentimes, life is very gray. Allowing yourself to think in the gray can help relieve some stress rather than thinking in black and white. And to my classmates, I love y'all so much, and that is the best thing that my school did for me. As much hardship as I went through, as much hardship as we all went through, the thing that I love the most about our school was our cohort. I love our class. We are brilliant, we are beautiful people, and we are very capable. And I hate that this field and this system can lead us to feel so helpless, so hopeless. And I just want to say, I know that this was a lot of our dreams, but this field is not worth our lives. If you feel like you are having a hard time, if you feel like you're having thoughts of suicide or harming yourself, please seek help. If you feel like this field is tearing you down, please leave. There are ways to get through this. I know that the infrastructure is not built for alternative paths, but I know that it's worth it because of my mental health. My life, my mental health is not worth the sacrifice. And if you feel the same way, like, please reach out to me. Please reach out to support in general. I'm sorry that we're all going through this, but we're going to get through it. Thank you for watching this video. I know that everybody grieves in their own way. I grieve by throwing myself into things, which is why I'm making this video. I know that this list wasn't all encompassing, and I would love to hear from others their process and what helps them get through such a hard time. It's unfortunate that I even have to film this video, and I know that my last couple of videos have been kind of grim. I do have some content on the way that is a little bit lighter, but I felt like this video was necessary before I could move forward. I will see you in the next video. Bye.